8 plays. Chris Carson ran the ball unbelievably well. My O-line did great there. And then DK Metcalf on the deep post. I mean, that was pure perfection on that. Tyler Lockett, the toe tap. I mean, it doesn't get any more on time and on the money with his footwork there, and just the play that we've had to make. And today was special. And then we had a few other plays. Defense was great. You know, defense kept battling. We kept believing, even to the last little second there. And then on 4th down in the red zone, for the play that we hit Chris on, he just kind of stepped up and scrambled. And I was about to take off and run. Out of the corner of my eye, kind of on my peripheral, I see Chris. I'm like, oh, popped it to him. And I didn't notice he bobbled it. I was like ready and celebrating already. But that was pretty amazing. So it was a great game. You know, it was a Seahawks-Rams NFC West matchup. You know, last year came down to the wire too. So it was just, the crowd was incredible. I mean, it didn't get any better than that. So it was special tonight.
You were emotional afterwards. What was behind that emotion?
Yeah, you know, just emotional because, you know, tonight was, you know, to tribute Paul Allen. You know, I think about, you know, what he meant to this world and what he meant to just me personally and my family. You know, he gave me an opportunity to play here. I always say to you guys, you know, I'm one of 32 men in the world that get to do what I get to do. And I'm grateful for that, you know, grateful for that. And, you know, I was telling the guys in the locker room, because I had the game ball, I wanted to give it to Burke, who's, you know, Paul Allen was one of his best friends and coworkers and everything else. And called Bert up, and I just was telling the guys, you know, for the guys who didn't know Paul, Paul was a person who believed big. You know, he you know, I was telling the guys, you got to think big, you got to believe big. That's what we've been saying. And just he was exactly that, Paul Allen. He was the person who created Microsoft. He was the person who made a difference in the world, cared about the world, cared about others, cared about, you know, animals, people, loved music, you know, and so, you know, I'll never forget when we were going to the Super Bowl the first time, and I think I've told you guys this story before, but I got a knock on my door the next morning after we won the NFC Championship game. And you know, the night before when we won the game, you know, we were on the podium in the NFC Championship games, singing Frank Sinatra, and we're about to head to New York, and Paul kind of leans at me, taps me, and he says, "I didn't know you liked Frank." And I'll never forget that. And I just laughed and said, "Yeah, I grew up listening to this. I'm an old school guy." The next morning, I got a knock on my door. I'm like, "Who's knocking on my door?" And the car leaves, and got a set of Frank Sinatra CDs, tapes, and everything else, the Rat Pack. And that's the kind of person he was. He was a person of love, a person who cared about others. And it was emotional. I think I was telling the guys, I think at the end of the game, he blew a little wind on that to the right. Bounced right. So it was cool tonight.